Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vibrant Living Now. I am your host and Vibrant Living expert, Julianne Wutke. Now, today we get to talk with the lovely and fabulous Tina Spoletini. Tina is a success stylist who actually mentors her clients on self-love and confidence building. Now, this helps her clients feel fabulous from the inside out. And she also helps her clients dress in clothing that complement their unique body shape and size. So welcome, Tina.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so excited.
Oh, me too. I
Yeah.
love this. I love this. Now, you and I, I was excited about what you offer your clients and what you do. Um, I know you and I think that because we do not live anywhere near one another, right?
No.
So, but we met on I want to say it was a workshop that our friend Katerina was offering. And I think you were a featured speaker, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
I don't
you seemed
think
like it.
so.
You seemed to have so much to offer, and yeah, I know there was a lot going on that
Yeah.
day. But I remember hearing your message of confidence, and I resonated with that. I was thinking, ooh, that's good. I think my audience would really like to hear more about this. So at any rate, here we are. I couldn't wait to have a conversation with you and then share what you do with everyone else. So if you don't mind, I know just maybe you could give us a briefly like how you got to where you are now.
Sure. So I was a stay-at-home mom and I had twins. And then 5 years later, I had, another boy. And my life was my kids. Everything I did, like most mothers, I'm sure, but being a stay-at-home mom, I got up every morning because of my kids. And I did everything all day long around what my kids were doing. And at 16, the twins both started driving. And my younger one, started walking to school. And I was like, okay, so I have no use anymore, right? Like I felt like they don't need me because, at 16 years old, they don't want to need you. And I really felt that. I really felt like I got nothing to live for, right? And I kind of went into a depression where I stopped caring for myself, for my house, and partly even them. Like it's almost like I was rebelling against them. If you know what I mean? Like I got that teenage, I can't even talk now, teenage Tina in my brain where, she was rebelling against the world and it really brought my confidence down. I got to the point where I wouldn't leave the house, right?
Wow.
And obviously, there's more to, my kids not needing me, but it all came out at once. There's perimenopause, there's, we had moved from a city to another city because of my husband's work, and all this stuff waited and it was coming all out at the same time. So there was many things going on with me, but I had to pull myself out of that, right? I can't,
Mhm.
like, I thought, okay, sure, my kids don't need me, but I need me, right? My
Yeah.
husband needs me, and my kids will always need me,
Mhm.
right? I remember that. I was 30 when I had the twins and I needed my mom, right? My
Yeah.
mom was like, she was my savior. And so I thought, that's going to be me again. So I
Mhm.
needed to get my strength back.
Mhm. Yeah, that's great. So how did you, I mean, get the idea for helping clients in this way?
Well, I pulled myself out, right?
Yeah.
I pulled myself out and I had that realization, one day I love to people watch. And I went and I had coffee at, a local Starbucks here, and I was sitting there and I was watching people coming in and out, and I thought, wow, she looks the way I used to feel,
Mm.
right? And I realized that there were a lot of women that I could say that about,
Mhm.
right? And I thought, okay, we're all the same. I
Mhm.
didn't go through it alone. At the
Mhm.
time, I thought it was just me being a big suck, oh, my babies don't need me anymore. Right. But the reality is it's it's a fact of life
Mhm.
for a lot of people. I wouldn't say everyone, because I would think if I had been a working mom, it wouldn't have affected me as much, right? But there are women who need their kids to need them. That's what it
Mm.
came down to. And I
Mhm.
thought, you know what? They need me. They need
Mhm.
me.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. So, now you are you really help women, first of all, feel like it's like you mentor them to feel more comfortable in their bodies, have the confidence. That word confidence is just like that is, like, so key. I just can't even for any person, but especially for women, especially, as we go through our journey in life, right? Um, and it seems like you have such a great niche of, like like, for example, who would you say, are the clients who most resonate with what you offer in terms of
Right.
building their confidence, building their, if you will, self-esteem? And actually being able to embrace that and wear clothing that helps make them feel as good on the look as good on the outside as they feel on the inside. So can you say a few things about that?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I like to shop and work with myself,
Hmm.
right? So basically, women who are very similar to myself. Now, I'm a plus size woman, always have been. So I find, the shopping for them the easiest, right?
Mm,
Because I mean, the way I see clothing is different than a thinner woman can almost wear anything,
mm,
right? That's the way I see it. I know that that's not necessarily true,
mm,
but to me, I can't wear anything and everything.
mm,
I need to be a little bit more choosy with what I wear. And so I like to work with women that are similar,
mm,
because it's more about fitting your body than it
mm,
is about fitting the trends.
mm, mm,
Right? I mean, obviously I wear the trends, right? I because I love the new clothes that come out, but I have to fit them to what my body needs. And
mm,
so I like to work with women that are more similar to myself, because I find that a little bit easier. But
mm,
also I'm big with accessories. I love jewelry. I love hats, but not on me, right? Shoes, jewelry, all that stuff. So obviously the thinner woman who just wants me to help her, that's where I go. I'm like, okay,
mm,
if I'll help them with outfits. It's not that I don't know how to do that, but I
mm,
prefer, just to finish an outfit for these women,
mm,
right?
mm,
And so I don't have, like, the certification for a stylist. I go with
mm,
my heart,
mm,
right? Which I think is more, I feel like it's more me, right? Or
mm,
more you, depending
mm.
on, you know, who I'm working with.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I really, again, what really touched me is that you seem to be, like a lot of the women you work with, it's like, maybe it's changing nowadays, but I know in the past, if you were a plus size lady, like my mom was definitely a plus size lady, she had to have clothes made for her. And
Oh,
it was very much a, kind of a, it's almost like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but her the leader that she was and the great person that she was absolutely unexpressed in her life as far as
uh,
what she wore, how she dressed herself. It was a whole different ballgame, and you couldn't just walk into a store and find something that was attractive or suitable or suited your taste or anything like that. So I feel like this is really, hopefully, we're serving a variety of women nowadays. And you'd be surprised. You're talking about, slim women, thin women. Oh, I can tell you, no matter what shape you're in, it doesn't really matter. So many women do not express themselves fully, do not have that confidence. It doesn't matter what size or shape or height or anything they are. Um, you just, it's just a thing that I've seen in myself and other people. It's like, oh, I don't know if I can wear that. What do you mean? Like literally, can you not wear it? Or is it just not your thing? Or are you afraid to? Or you think it's too much? What is, this is so interesting what we go through and expressing ourselves on the outside. And I feel like
oh, for sure.
wardrobe is a huge part of that. So,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I'll tell you my favorite question or my
yeah.
favorite comment is, I don't think I could wear that. Right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we live in a world where we think we have to look a certain way,
Mm,
right? And that's why we are not expressing who we truly are, because we always have to be that form, right?
mhm,
Especially with women. Women
mhm,
think that we have to look a certain way, we have to act a certain way. Well, we're in a new world now,
mhm,
right? We need to be ourselves. Women are allowed to be heard,
mhm,
right? And the more we speak out and the more we show that we have the confidence and the self esteem to be who we are,
mhm.
the more positive the world will be, right? And
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
I will take a woman into a store and I'll say, okay, tell me what you won't wear.
Uh-huh.
Right. And, usually it's very simple, right? I won't wear strapless, or I won't wear straps, or I won't wear short above my knee. And I always pull out at least one outfit that they won't wear.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's
And I mean,
interesting.
they don't always buy it because,
Yeah.
I want them to be comfortable. I want them to feel like this is me now. Right. But I do make them try it on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you feel like when women are have more confidence in how they are in the outside world, it actually does it do you I mean, because I know you keep in close touch with your clientele. Do you see that it's kind of like starts a little bit of a shift or a change in their lives?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. So I offer a program actually with my business where we don't just do the clothing, right?
Mhm.
We have, I call it Get Your Shift Together, right?
I love it.
And that shift is an acronym for self care, habit change, image, inspiration, focus mindset, and time management. And basically, it's my version of how to get my confidence back, right?
Mm,
How do I be the person I know that I can be? And so everything together gives you the inside, like you were saying earlier,
mhm.
I feel great. Now the image that I'm looking for is going to come out. And that's where the clothing comes in.
Yeah.
And so, we tie it all together so that a woman is wearing what she wants to wear
Mhm. I love that, and feeling good about it.
and feeling great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
She could walk into a room and feel like she owns it, right?
yeah. That is
We
so
all know
awesome.
that woman, right? We all know that woman that walks in, her head is held high, and,
Mhm,
she's wearing high heels and she looks amazing, right? But we
mhm.
don't know what she's feeling. We only know what she looks like,
Right.
right?
Well, I think it's probably a good I mean, I know so many people that I didn't even occur to me, uh, on the surface, like how they would be judged for their, physical attractiveness or size or shape or anything like that, because you really get who they are when they're in the room. And it's like, oh, huh, I didn't really think that about them because I really, feel who they are. And they are, kind of like in their own power, so to speak. So
Right.
there, and I think that's aspirational. I think that is an amazing thing that you do for women, just really have them tap into,
Yeah.
who they are on the outside and
Who they
not
treat, yeah.
worry about judgment or what have you.
Right. Well, the reality is we're going to be judged, right? I mean, we're going to be judged. And there's going to be negative, there's going to be positive, right?
Mhm,
I mean, I remember now we were talking about how your mom couldn't go shopping. So
mm,
I grew up in that era where there were no plus size stores,
mhm,
period. And
mhm,
so I had to shop at the same store my grandma was shopping at.
mhm,
So, there were many outfits that I'm like, do I have to wear that? But yeah, you have to wear it because that's all I can find for you, right?
mhm.
I would tweak it. Obviously, I wouldn't wear the same shoes or the same earrings as my grandma, right? And, I was young, so I could poof my hair up. It was the 80s, so I had the big wild hair, you know. But I mean, I remember those days, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were times didn't wear the same clothes as my grandma, but there were times where you could see the similarities and you would be like, oh my God, she looks like her grandma. Here I'm 12 and she's in her 60s. Like, yeah, that looks great, right? But I mean, in the end, it's about you and how you wear it,
Yeah,
right? We've
exactly.
seen those women, women that are beautiful wearing the same dress, but one looks better than the other, right? It's because
Mhm.
they feel inside the way they look outside.
Yeah, and and no two things look the same on anyone. I mean, it's like you could have this person and that person. It's like depending on, again, accessories or what have you. It's so nice to be able to, kind of dial that in without feeling like you don't deserve a nice clothes, or, oh, I couldn't do that. That's too much, or
Yeah,
whatever.
I know that part too. I'm lucky I have a really awesome husband where he wants me to look good, but he
Hmm.
wants me to feel good. And
Hmm.
so I've never had an issue with, it's going to cost me this much.
Hmm.
He's always been like, you know what, if it's going to make you feel good and you're going to look good, you need it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Now,
amazing.
I know not all men are like that, but
Hmm.
that's why they have layaway plans and they have, credit cards. Because I mean, I don't say to my clients, you have to spend this kind of money because, you know, that's pressure that, is gonna it's gonna bring them down too, right? And I don't
Hmm.
want them to fight with their spouse. I mean, that's
No,
not fair, right?
right.
So I do the best I can as far as money,
Hmm.
right? Because we need to be careful with our pennies, especially today,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we don't know what's happening,
Hmm.
but the truth is you can still look good
Hmm.
with spending very little.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like a lot of women have things in their closet that most of us, I think. I'm trying to clean mine out, but it's like I don't. It's like, why is this in my closet? If I'm not going to wear it again, I mean, is it sentimental? Is it aspirational? But I'm just not going to wear it. So why do I have that in my closet? But also, I think people and women in general can just, if you change your mindset, it seems to me like you could just start wherever you are. If you have no budget for a lot of extra clothing, or you just, don't see how I think just one little step at a time, really, and maybe start with, like, if you have a client who's just so, oh, um, has no confidence yet, what would be one of the first things you might just help them with?
So usually I start with self-care,
Mm,
right? Usually it's because those kind of women are not looking after themselves.
mm-hmm,
Right. And
mm,
so that's kind of where I start. What is your self care routine and where can we start with that? Like, what
mm-hmm.
do you need the most? And most of us need time alone,
Mm.
right? Who am I?
Interesting.
Right?
Interesting.
Who am I really? Right.
Mhm.
So I usually just, for a week, just sit alone by yourself and just think, what do I want? What do I want out of my life? Right. And the thing is, that is a huge question. Like you sound
Mhm.
like you think, oh, I want to be, I want to be a business. I want to own a business.
Mhm.
Well, you know what that's like, right? Okay, what
Mhm.
kind of business? Who do I need to know? What do I need to do? Like there, all these questions come out from that, right?
Mhm.
But the best question is, who do I want to be?
Mm, mhm.
Right? Who do I want to be? Right?
Yeah.
Because once once I know who I want to be, then it's from there I can go to, oh, so when I'm that person, I will be able to do this. I will be able
Mhm.
to do that. I'll feel this because
Mhm.
we all want to feel our best.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's kind of where that question will lead us.
Mhm.
Who do I want to be?
That is an awesome question. I think we need to continually check ourselves and ask ourselves. I think, I don't know, it seems like decades ago, women we didn't think they were supposed to change, or but we all know that life is change. It is all about changing. It is all about expanding. It's all about, transformation. And maybe what you start off doing, or what you start off thinking about yourself, is totally going to change by the time you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. I mean, it's just a continual transformation, and I feel like some people just don't stop and reflect on that. That, it's never too late, wouldn't you say, to, you know
Oh
be
no.
have the life that you really want.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's never too late. And I mean, if you think about it, when you start having your kids, I mean, most women have kids, not everyone does. But
Hmm.
when you start your family, your life changes. You see
Hmm.
the world differently because now you're not looking out for yourself, you're also looking out for these beautiful
Right.
children that you have.
Hmm.
You change instantly,
Hmm.
right? And then as they grow and change, you grow and change with them, and you may not even realize it. right?
Hmm.
I mean, I remember years and years ago, our children are our biggest teachers,
Mm,
right? And so, when I look back, I think, my God, the person I was when I started to the person I am when they turned 16 was totally different,
yeah.
right? But now that you're alone again, like
Hmm.
I'm alone. I'm not alone. I still have a 17-year-old, but he's independent and he's on his own, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking out for myself again, right? And now it looks different,
Hmm.
right? It really does look different. And so, we change then. And then when we become grandparents, I'm sure it's going to change again.
Hmm.
Now, I'm not going to change a ton, other than I'm going to even have more love inside me, right? Because I can't, I don't want to say I can't wait, because I can wait. But, you know,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that,
Yeah.
like, what kind of a grandma am I going to be? I want to be this kind of a grandma, right? And
Hmm.
so, again, we're going to change, because that's going to require movement in some way,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And so, and I would imagine as we get into our 60s and 70s, I look at my parents, and yeah, they're different.
Hmm.
I mean, I look at my dad, he's 78 and he does all the cooking. He bakes, like, he does. Well, who was he when I was a kid, right? When
Where
he
was
was in
that
his
guy?
50s. Yeah, like, who is this guy, right? And my mom is basically retired from the kitchen. And I love that.
Yeah, that is
Like, I'm like,
awesome.
so this is the life. I mean, I don't think my life will be that great, but like, I don't enjoy cooking. So for me, at least, I always tell them, when you go on holidays, come to my house.
Yeah, really. Come over here. Oh, that's awesome. Well, we have to wrap up. Unfortunately, you and I could talk forever,
I
but
know.
uh, but anyway, so now clientele can work with you remotely. Is that correct? They don't have to be right there
Absolutely.
in your same town or anything like that.
Yep. Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, shopping is a little bit difficult,
Yeah.
but in my course, like I said, I have a 6-week course
Oh,
that will cover
great.
all of these things.
Okay.
And I'll give you, basically, like, when we talk image,
Right.
it'll be like like a basic, this is what you could shop for,
Right.
right? It won't
Right.
be necessarily colors, but it'll be shapes, right?
That's
Shapes
awesome.
that, because I mean, in menopause, our bodies change. Right. And
Yeah.
so what you were shopping for when you were in your 30s is different in your 50s and
Hmm.
60s. So,
Hmm.
not just the styles, but even the shapes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's how I do that online.
Oh, that's
And
great. I love
obviously, if
that.
I'm working one on one,
Hmm.
we could go shopping, using our phones, but, not all
True.
stores like that. Yeah, not all
Yeah,
stores like
exactly.
that. But,
Oh.
we can do that as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that you can serve more people who don't happen to live in the same town. That's one of the things I love about what shifted in our culture most recently is that
Yeah,
we have a bigger reach. We can help more people. All right.
absolutely.
Well, Tina, that's all the time we have for now.
Oh,
But
no.
don't worry, to my audience, I'm going to put all of Tina's contact information, where you can find her on social media. I feel like I need to go online and check out that course that you mentioned. That sounds like a real hit. And just remember, to our audience, if you've gotten value here today, be sure and hit the like and subscribe buttons to learn from others like Tina who can help us live a more vibrant life. Well, thank you for being my guest, Tina. I hope our audience has enjoyed our talk. I know I sure have. And to everyone out there, see you all later. Thanks very much.
Yes, thank you.